Welcome to Panda Audiobook Tales, where stories are told with feeling, opening the door to a world of imagination and emotion.
Church of the Black Cat. Chapter 1. Senior Zio High and the Evolution Panel. Blue Star, Long Nation. On the bustling main avenue near Jinghai University campus. A pitch-black cat, its fur sleek and without a single stray hair, lay motionless with its eyes closed. That was Senior Zio High, the guardian cat of the dormitory building. Students passing by found the sight perfectly ordinary. In fact, most even stepped aside respectfully as they walked past. Just then, a girl in a faded floral dress with a large butterfly bow on her head came running over, looking anxious. Senior Zio High, our dorm room door accidentally got locked, and none of the four of us brought our keys. Can you please help us open it? The black cat didn't bother to open its eyes. It merely lifted its tail and flicked it twice. Seeing that, the girl hurriedly opened her handbag and skillfully took out 2 pieces of smoked sausage. The moment the sausages appeared, the cat opened its eyes, golden pupils gleaming faintly, then rose gracefully to its feet. After giving a noble stretch, it calmly licked its right paw and smoothed the fur on its face like a gentleman tidying his collar. Only when that ritual was complete did it deign to glance at the girl. Decent looks, outfit acceptable, though the perfume's a bit too strong. Still, at least she knows the rule, bring smoked sausage. Thought Lin Yi, the consciousness behind Zio High's golden eyes, before meowing twice and staring at the sausages in her hand. The girl, finally catching on, quickly unwrapped one and offered it to his mouth. As the rich aroma reached him, Lin Yi could resist no longer. He opened his tiny mouth and began to eat, purring with audible delight. Crunch, crunch. In less than 2 minutes, both sausages were gone, swiftly turning into 2 streams of warm energy within his body. At the same time, a translucent screen, visible only to Lin Yi, slowly appeared before him. Consumed, low-grade sausage, energy reserve plus 10. Energy reserve maxed. You have gained 1 evolution point. Seeing those words, Lin Yi's heart leapt with joy. He politely ignored the insulting, low-grade label. Another evolution point, added to the 4 I saved earlier, that makes 5. Let's see what happens when I upgrade a skill beyond the advanced level. Status panel. Name Lin Yi. Age 2.5 years. Species mysterious cat Xuan Meow. Skills: Bite advanced. Leap advanced. Climb advanced. Swim advanced. Night vision advanced. Pounce advanced. Intimidate advanced. Stealth advanced. Rapid digestion advanced. Roar advanced. Motion vision advanced. Super hearing advanced. Spend 5 evolution points to evolve an advanced skill to the next tier. Energy reserve, 0 of 100. Evolution points, 5. Without hesitation, Lin Yi tapped the plus icon beside Intimidate. The 5 points vanished instantly. A flash crossed his vision, and the skill's name changed. Fear Stare Basic. Lock eyes with a target to trigger their deepest hidden fear. Costs 10 evolution points to upgrade to the next tier. A sudden warmth surged through his eyes, then faded. Just as Lin Yi was savoring the transformation, the girl's voice rang again. Senior Zio High, since you ate my sausages, that means you've agreed, right? Come on, I'll take you to our dorm. Whether we can get back in today depends on you. Hearing that, Lin Yi meowed once, then lifted both front paws toward her. Her face instantly lit up with joy as she scooped him into her arms like it was the highest honor in the world. Around them, envious students couldn't help whispering. I tried to pet Senior Zio High last time, he wouldn't let me, and now she's holding him. You don't get it, he only lets pretty girls hold him. The last one who hugged Senior Zio High was the music department goddess, Su Longyu. I once brushed him with a cat toy. His fur was softer than silk. Still, why do you all call him Senior? He's just a cat, a new freshman asked. You must be new. If you ever have a problem you can't solve at the medical faculty, just bring 2 smoked sausages and ask Senior Zio Hai. Chances are he'll help you out. Amidst the lively chatter, the girl carried Lin Yi straight toward the girls' dormitory. Inside dorm building 8, curious faces peeked out from doorways. Isn't that Zio Hai? Haven't seen him around our dorm for ages. He's going to room 401. Their door got locked again. Why not just call the dorm manager? Because if they call her again, they'll get yelled at to death. You think Senior Zio Hai can handle it? Watch and see. Phones were quickly whipped out as half the corridor started recording. Senior Zio Hai, this is our dorm. Sorry to trouble you. At room 401, the girl set Lin Yi down gently, watching him nervously. He gave her a reassuring look as if to say, relax. A quick glance around, and his eyes locked onto a small ventilation window above the main door, about 3 meters high and conveniently unlatched. Without a running start, he pushed off the ground and landed effortlessly on the narrow ledge. Amidst the cheers of onlookers, the black cat slipped through the vent and vanished inside. Barely 10 seconds later, the dorm door clicked open. Lin Yi stepped out with unhurried grace, tail raised like a banner of victory. Meow. Roughly meaning, don't bother me with small stuff like this again. The freshmen gaped in awe, while others were already uploading the video to their friends and social media. As expected, the clip of Senior Zio Hai unlocking the dorm quickly went viral online. Epilogue. Youth is a time when we both dream and chase those dreams. It's the season to give our all to learn, to work tirelessly as we plant the seeds of ambition. We step beyond our comfort zones, face challenges, stumble and rise again, growing stronger each time. One day when we look back, we'll realize none of it was in vain. The achievements we earn are not just destinations, but milestones marking the journey that shaped who we've become. Chapter 2, I Want Your Dog Life. On Dallion, TikTok's Chinese platform, a video tagged under the cute pet category had just gone viral, racking up over 80,000 likes. In the video, a black cat leapt gracefully through a small open window, unlocked a bedroom door from the inside, and then strutted out of the courtyard with effortless elegance. The star of the video was none other than Lin Yi. Perhaps because of Lin Yi's agile movements and remarkable intelligence, the comment section was soon flooded with users from every corner of the country. Wow, this black cat is amazing. It jumped that high in one go. My cat can't even make it onto the dining table. I just showed this to my cat, and it looked offended. Your cat's a couch potato. This one's built like a gym bro. It's so black, not a single stray hair, look. It's practically shining. It even opened the bedroom door. That's not the first time it's done this, I bet. Don't you recognize it? That's Little Black Senior, the famous campus cat from Jinghai University. I graduated a year ago and I still remember him. Yeah, he once helped a girl find her lost kitten. After she gave him 2 cans of cat food, he brought it back in under 30 minutes. No way that's real. Here, take a look at Little Black Senior's handsome face yourself. At that moment, Lin Yi had no idea he'd become an internet-famous cat. Even if he knew, he wouldn't have cared much. His name had long been well known throughout Jinghai University. Walking gracefully out of the girls' dormitory, he didn't return to his nap spot. Instead, he glanced at the digital clock by the railing, then padded toward one of the lecture halls. Just as he arrived, a crowd of students poured out of the building, books in hand. Lin Yi stopped right in the middle of the path, crouched down, and stared straight ahead with his golden eyes. Moments later, a beautiful figure appeared. A girl in a flowing white dress, her long black hair cascading over fair skin like polished jade. She was chatting with a friend, but lit up the instant she spotted Xianxia. With a delighted gasp, she hurried over and scooped him up. "Little Black, how did you know my class ended now? Did you come all the way to pick me up? You really deserve all the treats I've been feeding you." Smiling, Luo Yue rubbed her cheek affectionately against Xianxia's fur. Her classmates looked on enviously. "Luo Yue, why doesn't Little Black Senior treat us that way? Can he actually tell who's pretty and who's not?" "Of course, Luo Yue's the beauty of our department. Little Black Senior's got great taste. If you two get along so well, why don't you just adopt him?" Luo Yue chuckled, stroking Xianxia's chin. "Cats are born to be free. I really like Little Black, but I don't want to lock him up in a small room." Then she smiled sweetly. "Right, Little Black?" "Meow. Don't want fish? Fine, I'll buy you fresh-cut beef instead." "Meow. Got it, beef it is. Let's go to the supermarket." Humming happily, Luo Yue carried Xianxia toward the campus supermarket. As she did, Xianxia noticed a girl in a striped dress standing by the stairs, staring at Luo Yue in silence. He paid her no mind, probably just another classmate. A few minutes later, Luo Yue and Xianxia arrived at a nearby fresh market supermarket. While buying her own essentials, she picked up fresh beef slices and salmon sashimi for Xianxia. Throughout the trip, Xianxia sat quietly in the shopping cart like a well-behaved little angel, drawing curious glances from other shoppers. After all, cats were known for being wild and temperamental. A calm one like Xianxia was rare. When the shopping was done, Luo Yue carried Xianxia in one arm and a bag of groceries in the other as she left the store. But just as she stepped out, a male student holding a teddy dog approached her. "Luo Yue, why didn't you answer my calls?" Luo Yue frowned immediately. "Chu Ming, we're just classmates. Please don't call me by my first name like that. And don't call me again. You already have a girlfriend." Her words made Chu Ming panic. "Luo Yue, I broke up with Liu Xian ages ago. We're not together anymore. Look, I know you like small animals, so I bought this puppy as a birthday gift for you." He smiled awkwardly, lifting the dog a little higher. "See, isn't it cute? Want to hold it?" Clearly, he was trying to shorten the distance between them. But Luo Yue only shook her head. "No thanks, I don't like dogs, I prefer cats." At that, Chu Ming's eyes flicked toward the black cat in her arms, flashing with disdain. "Wait, isn't that the stray cat from campus? It looks filthy. Be careful, it might have parasites." The moment those words left his mouth, Xianxia's fur puffed up. "You're the filthy one. You're covered in germs. I'm a clean gentleman, meow." "You rotten mutt." Unfortunately, his indignant meowing only made him look adorably angry, which drew a few giggles. Luo Yue jumped slightly from the sudden outburst and accidentally dropped her grocery bag. The beef for Xianxia hit the pavement. That was the final straw. "You damn mutt, I want your dog life." With that, Xianxia leapt from her arms. The sudden commotion drew a small crowd. And then, as if on cue or maybe on purpose, Chu Ming let go of the leash. The teddy, much larger than Xianxia, lunged forward to attack. Gasps erupted from the onlookers, but then Xianxia's golden eyes flashed with a barely visible light. In the dog's vision, the small black cat suddenly transformed into a massive black tiger, its fur wreathed in dark flames. Overwhelmed by primal terror, the dog froze, trembling uncontrollably. In that same instant, Xianxia sprang up, grabbed the dog midair, and with shocking strength, flipped the teddy twice his size onto the ground before landing gracefully, not even glancing back. Chapter 3: The Strange Black Aura. From the moment the teddy dog lunged at Xianxia to when it was slammed into the ground, The whole thing happened in just a few seconds, so fast that no one even had time to react. When the crowd finally realized what had happened, the teddy was already lying flat on the pavement, and Lin Ye had calmly leapt back into Luo Yue's arms. "Little Black, are you okay?" Luo Yue's voice was full of concern. "Meow, how could anything happen to me?" With a short, disdainful meow, Lin Ye gave the trembling teddy a condescending look. The poor dog was so terrified that it nearly peed itself. It scrambled to its feet and bolted away in panic. Chu Ming immediately chased after it. He'd paid over 1,000 yuan for that dog, and losing it would break his heart. As the boy and his dog disappeared down the street, the surrounding onlookers burst into applause. "Wow, that black cat is amazing." "Right, I thought it was doomed, but it flipped the dog like it was nothing. Its movements were so smooth, especially that landing. Elegant, truly elegant." Cats are unbeatable creatures, especially when they're not outmatched in size. And it protected its owner. The dog tried to bite the girl, but the cat jumped in first. They say black cats are intelligent. Guess we just witnessed that. Listening to all the praise, Lin Ye's lips curled into a smug little smile. He stretched out his front paw and elegantly licked it, then fixed his slightly ruffled fur like a true gentleman. "Little Black, did you hear that? Everyone praising you." Luo Yue couldn't resist patting his head, her face glowing with affection. "You're amazing, but next time, stay away from bad dogs like that, okay?" "Meow, don't worry. I've already sent more than one dog packing. Come on, let's go home." She gathered her spilled groceries, tucked Lin Ye in her arms, and headed toward an upscale apartment complex not far from campus. Being the daughter of a wealthy family, Luo Yue didn't live in the dorms. She'd bought a private apartment nearby. But as they walked, Lin Ye noticed something strange. A woman in a long, patterned dress stood across the street, her face obscured, watching them intently. What's her deal? Is she following Luo Yue? Before Lin Ye could think further, Luo Yue unlocked her door and stepped inside. When he looked back, the woman was gone. At the Bureau of Anomalous Affairs. At that same time, in a secured office in downtown Jinghai, several men and women in black tactical uniforms sat around a projection screen. The man leading the briefing was about 30 years old, his aura sharp and intimidating. Chu Yat-shen, captain of the Bureau's 3rd subdivision, and a Grade C spirit controller. Based on the intel we've gathered, there have been over 8 female victims so far in Jinghai. He paused, his expression grim. All of them were between 18 and 24 years old. Young, beautiful women who'd easily catch attention on the street. A dark-skinned man with a buzzcut frowned. "Captain, could this be the work of a vengeful spirit? They're known for tormenting beautiful women." Chu Yat-shen switched the holographic display, and several people immediately grimaced. The new image showed 8 complete human skins. The victim's skin remains remarkably intact. Chu explained calmly. "In fact, evidence shows the perpetrator bathed and made them up before killing them. That behavior doesn't match a normal ghost's instincts." He clicked to the next slide. A woman's blurred face appeared. The entity responsible has been identified as Du Fu Tan. She was once an ordinary woman who turned into a vengeful spirit out of jealousy. Jealous of beautiful young girls because of her own ugliness. Everyone in the room tensed. Based on risk classification, Du Fu Tan is a Grade C anomaly. We need to capture her immediately. If not, more young women will die. A tall, sharp-looking female agent spoke up. "But Captain, we don't even know where she is. How do we catch her?" Chu Yat-shen unrolled a large map on the table. After analyzing all 8 crime scenes, "I believe Du Fu Tan is operating near University Town. The highest concentration of young, attractive women there is Jinghai University. He smirked slightly. I checked the university's official forum and found their campus beauties ranking. Knowing Du Futan's jealous nature, these girls are likely to be her next targets. As he finished, a series of portraits appeared on the projection, each one of a beautiful student. Among them, Luo Yue. Back at Luo Yue's apartment. Meow. In the warm, cozy apartment, Linya lay lazily on the cat tree near the window. Beside him sat a plush scratching post, Luo Yue's special gift for him. From the kitchen came the sound of gentle humming and the aroma of freshly cooked food. Moments later, Luo Yue appeared wearing a cute apron printed with cartoon cats, holding a large tray. Even before she reached him, Linya could already smell the heavenly aroma. "Little Black, dinner's ready, come and eat." The words were barely out of her mouth when Linya turned into a black lightning bolt, leaping onto the dining table. His hind legs pressed against the chair, front paws on the table edge. His golden eyes gleaming with anticipation. Luo Yue laughed softly. "Sometimes I swear you're not a cat at all. You act just like a person." She set down his dish and tied a white napkin around his neck. "All right, you may eat." Immediately, a low rumbling filled the air, like a tiny engine revving inside Linya's chest. He buried his face into the dish, half filled with salmon sashimi, half with thin sliced beef. And on the side, a warm bowl of goat milk topped with bits of catnip leaves. Meow, delicious. Meow, maybe I should just let her be my human pet instead. Meow, no freedom first. I'll just freeload for now, hee hee. Watching him eat with such contentment, Luo Yue smiled tenderly. "Take your time, Little Black. I had an early class this morning, so I'll nap for a bit. If you want to head out later, just open the door yourself. You know how to use the elevator anyway." She yawned and headed toward her fluffy, toy-strewn bed, not even bothering to change clothes. After Linya finished every bite, he padded softly to the side of her bed, glancing at her peaceful sleeping face. Just as he turned to leave, a wisp of black mist slowly drifted out from beneath the bed. What the meow is that? His tiny feline brain filled with question marks. Chapter 4: Devouring the Spectre Phantom Step. Lin Yi had been living as a cat for 2.5 years now. He had blended in perfectly within Jinghai University, claiming to have seen all kinds of strange things, but what he was witnessing right now was a first. His instinct screamed one thing: the area under the bed is on fire. But when he poked his head underneath, there was no trace of smoke or flames, only a strand of hair and a folded note lying there. The note had Su Longyu's name and a string of numbers faintly written across it. Before Lin Yi could make sense of it, a chilling wave of danger surged through him. Every strand of fur on his body stood on end. The source of that dreadful aura was the bed itself. Without thinking, Lin Yi leaped onto it, and what appeared before his eyes shattered his understanding of reality. The black mist coiled and twisted, slowly condensing into the form of a woman draped in tattered black gauze, her face hideous and distorted. Jealousy burned in her hollow eyes as she fixed her gaze on Su Longyu's sleeping face, a hatred so deep it could only have been born from envy. Lin Yi's expression hardened. Normally, if he'd encountered something like this, he would have been halfway out the window by now. But this wasn't an ordinary haunting. That thing had clearly come for Su Longyu. If she died here, who would cook him gourmet meals? Who would brush his fur or run him warm baths? "No way," Lin Yi growled inwardly. "I'm not abandoning my ticket to food and comfort." He tried to wake her up, meowing loudly beside the bed. But no matter how he cried out, Su Longyu remained motionless, trapped in some unnatural slumber. That damned ghost must have done something to her, he thought grimly. If this keeps up, she's going to die. Without hesitation, he turned toward the specter that was now extending its clawed hand toward her chest. Meow! Lin Yi unleashed a thunderous roar filled with threat, his golden feline eyes flaring with unnatural light. He activated Fear Gaze. The moment their eyes met, the ghost's body stiffened. Trembling, afraid, Lin Yi saw his chance. He lunged, a black blur slicing through the air. And to his shock, his claws didn't pass through her. He could actually touch the specter. Without a second thought, he sank his fangs into her throat. Devoured the specter's resentment, energy reserve plus 50. Lin Yi froze. Wait, what? I can gain energy by eating this thing. This is amazing. Excitement surged through him. In that case, let's finish this. How dare you hurt my food provider? Meow. With a furious cry, Lin Yi went on a rampage. Each bite tore away another piece of the specter's form, while his golden eyes gleamed with cruel satisfaction. Whenever the ghost tried to resist, he simply struck her again with Fear Gaze, forcing her into submission. Devoured the specter's resentment, energy reserve plus 50. Devoured the specter's resentment, energy reserve plus 50. Devoured the specter's resentment, energy reserve plus 50. On and on it went, until every last wisp of dark mist was swallowed by him. When her final trace of malice faded, the ghost's body dispersed into smoke, completely gone. And then, another notification appeared before Lin Yi's eyes. You have devoured the specter Du Fu Tan, acquired new skill, Phantom Step. Phantom Step Basic, transform into black mist for 3 seconds, becoming immune to physical attacks. Cooldown, 1 minute. Upgrade cost, 10 evolution points. Lin Yi's eyes sparkled with delight. So not only do I get evolution points, I get skills too. Jackpot. But the thought soon faded as a cold realization crept in. That ghost hadn't come here by accident. Someone, maybe that mysterious girl who'd been watching Su Longyu earlier, had sent her. This world is way more dangerous than I thought, he mused, tail twitching. If even ghosts are real, I'd better figure out who's pulling the strings before it's too late. As he pondered, Su Longyu, who'd been unconscious the entire time, suddenly stirred. She blinked open her eyes and saw Lin Yi sitting beside her bed, watching over her. Her expression softened instantly. A faint, blissful smile appeared as she reached out and hugged the little black cat tightly. Little Black, you're amazing. If only you been with me since childhood, she whispered gently. Pressed against her chest, Lin Yi felt the warmth of her body and the faint scent of her hair. His cat face flushed crimson. Damn it, she's trying to win me over with affection. I won't fall for it. I'm a free cat. Meanwhile, on a street not far from Jinghai University. Captain, the Spectre really did appear on campus. The resentment levels here are off the charts, a young woman said, scanning the area with a compass-like device that flickered with ghostly energy. The man beside her, wearing a baseball cap, nodded gravely. So Du Fu Tan's here. She must have already chosen her next target. He turned to the others. Move fast. If we're late, another girl might die. Roger. The 6 investigators moved in formation, heading straight toward a luxury apartment complex. Within minutes, they had pinpointed their target. A beautiful young woman in a white dress, standing by the door, holding a black cat in her arms. Chapter 5. The Bureau of ANOMA and the Spirit Binder. Su Longyu frowned in confusion as she looked toward the door. Several people were standing there, strangers, all wearing serious expressions. And leading them was a man named Chu Yishan, captain of the Bureau of Anomalies. Before entering, they had already prepared for combat, expecting to find the target, Su Longyu, possibly injured by the vengeful spirit Du Futan. Yet what they found was entirely unexpected. Su Longyu stood there completely unharmed. No trace of injuries. No blood, no broken furniture, not even a hint of spiritual disturbance. The investigators froze in silence for several long seconds. Finally, Captain Chu took out an identification card from his jacket and spoke with an easy smile. "Good evening, miss. We're from the Jinghai City Fire Safety Bureau. We're currently conducting routine inspections for potential fire hazards. Would you mind if we take a quick look inside?" Su Longyu hesitated briefly, then nodded. At that exact moment, Lin Yi, nestled in her arms, tensed up. His fur stood on end. That smell, the faint, unnatural energy surrounding these people, it was almost identical to what he had sensed earlier from the vengeful spirit. These people aren't firefighters, he realized. Not a chance. Just then, one of the women behind Chu Yishan gasped softly when her eyes landed on Su Longyu's black cat. "Wow, this cat is so dark and it's glaring at us. So fierce, yet so adorable." Su Longyu laughed lightly, stroking Lin Yi's head to calm him down. "I'm sorry. Little Black probably isn't used to seeing so many strangers at once. He's just a bit nervous." "Don't worry, sweetheart," she whispered to him. "They're not bad people." Then she turned and invited them in. "Please come inside." As the group entered the apartment, Lin Yi remained alert, his golden eyes watching every movement. The aura on these people, it was similar to the spirit, yet oddly there was no malice. Once inside, the team began scanning the apartment. They produced a strange, box-shaped device with an antenna, sweeping it through the corners and under the furniture. A soft hum accompanied the faint flicker of ghostly blue lights. Who are these people? Lin Yi thought, and what's their connection to that ghost woman earlier? While he was deep in thought, the same female investigator knelt near the bed. In just a moment, she found the strand of hair and folded note that the vengeful spirit had left behind. She examined them briefly, then gave a subtle nod to her captain. After finishing their search, she walked up to Su Longyu and smiled politely. "All right, that'll be all. Thank you for your cooperation, miss. We won't bother you further. Have a pleasant evening." The group turned to leave. The moment they stepped out, Lin Yi leapt from Su Longyu's arms, ignoring her startled cry. In a blur of black fur, he dashed through the door, slipping into the elevator just as the doors began to close. Isn't that the black cat from that young lady's apartment upstairs?" The same female investigator blinked in surprise. "Why's it following us?" "Probably just going for a walk," one of the men replied casually. Chu Yishan pressed the button for the first floor and turned toward his team. "All right, what did you find upstairs?" The woman held up the strand of hair and the note. "This," she said simply. Chu frowned. "What is it?" "It's a spirit conduit, a medium used to summon or anchor a vengeful entity. The hair belongs to Su Longyu. The note had her name and birth date written on it. That means Du Fu Tan wasn't acting on her own. Someone was controlling her, a spirit binder." "You mean," Chu said slowly, "there's a spirit binder operating inside Jinghai University?" "Exactly. A female one, most likely. She must have held some deep grudge against Su Longyu. She used Su Longyu's hair and birth date to create the conduit, then commanded Du Fu Tan to kill her." "But that doesn't add up," another agent interjected. "My readings showed only faint residual malice in the apartment. No active presence. It's like Du Fu Tan just vanished." "Maybe she didn't get the chance to strike," the woman replied. "In any case, we now know there's an unregistered spirit binder at large, someone working outside the Bureau's control. That makes her extremely dangerous." Just as Chu Yishan finished speaking, the elevator doors slid open on the first floor. The team exited quickly, spreading out across the university grounds, their scanning devices glowing faintly in the dark. From the apartment entrance, Lin Yi watched their silhouettes disappear into the night, his golden eyes narrowing thoughtfully. Spirit Binder, Bureau of Anomalies. So this world really does have organizations that deal with the supernatural. He sighed. Things are getting complicated. Hopefully, they catch the girl who sent that ghost after Su Longyu. She must be the spirit binder they're after. But why would she want to harm Su Longyu? Out of jealousy, maybe. His musings were cut short by a scream. From the direction of the girl's dormitory, a shrill, blood-curdling cry pierced the night air. Without hesitation, Lin Yi sprinted toward it. When he arrived, his pupils constricted in shock. A young woman in a patterned dress lay sprawled on the concrete in a pool of blood, her body broken and twisted beyond recognition. It's her, the spirit binder who tried to kill Su Longyu, Lin Yi thought grimly. Did she jump, or was she killed by backlash because the ghost she controlled got eaten by me? Before he could think further, Chu Yishan and his team arrived, their expressions darkening at the sight. Jinghai University's spirit binder is dead, Chu muttered, pulling out his communicator. Send in a cleanup unit, label it as an accident. He knelt beside the corpse, scanning it briefly before speaking again. The cause of death appears to be spiritual backlash. Her bound entity was destroyed, and the connection rebounded. There's no remaining trace of Du Fu Tan's energy. She was likely devoured by a higher-class Spectre. Chu's eyes narrowed. That means another, stronger spirit binder may be operating in Jinghai, possibly C-class or above. Keep a close watch on this area. As he finished, Lin Yi ducked into a nearby flower bed, hiding himself among the leaves. That woman's dead, no point sticking around. Let the professionals handle this. I'm just a cat now after all. With that, he leapt gracefully onto the school wall, his black silhouette blending with the night. Just as he was about to stroll away, a familiar, raspy voice called out from below. Boss Lin, it's terrible Big Ham's being cornered by stray dogs again. You gotta come quick. Lin Yi looked down to see a chubby orange cat, Tang Kun, one of his underlings, staring up at him anxiously. Beside him stood another large orange tomcat. Tang Bio, his front paw scarred from past fights. Lin Yi's tail flicked arrogantly. How dare they surround one of my subordinates? Let this king see what's going on. With a single bound, he leapt gracefully from the 3-meter wall, landing like a shadow, descending upon his domain. Chapter 6: Stray Trouble in the Ambush. For more than 2.5 years, Lin Yi had lived freely within Jinghai University as a stray cat among strays. But he wasn't just any cat. He was the ruler of the campus's feline underworld. Under his paws served a number of loyal little brothers, each of whom had to present offerings to him once a month in exchange for his protection. Even new strays had to earn his recognition before being allowed to scavenge around Jinghai University. Among this gang of cats, Lin Yi had a new name, the Night King. After Tang Kun and Tang Bio came rushing in with their report, Lin Yi immediately headed for the source of the commotion. When he arrived, he spotted a silver-gray cat with huge ears trembling atop a tall tree, while a yellow stray dog barked furiously at the base of the trunk. That big-eared, round-faced silver cat was Big Ham, one of Lin Yi's newest recruits, a pitiful fellow abandoned by his owner just a month ago. Due to inbreeding, Big Ham's intelligence was a little lacking. Before Lin Yi took him in, the poor cat could barely find a meal every few days. At that moment, aside from the trembling cat and the barking dog, quite a few students had gathered around, filming with their phones. Night King, that's the one, Tang Kun hissed angrily. Those stray dogs have gone too far. We clearly divided the territory. The East Wing is ours. Yet that yellow mutt came digging through our trash. And if stealing food wasn't enough, Tang Bio added, his fur bristling, it chased Big Ham up a tree. He's dumb as a brick, and now it scared the whiskers off him. Lin Yi's eyes narrowed as he watched the yellow dog bark and snarl. Tang Kun's tail lashed. They've gone too far, Night King. That flea-bitten pack doesn't even respect you. Lin Yi's tone was cold, his gaze sharp. Enough talking. I won't let Big Ham be bullied. Yesterday, he even offered me half a can of cat food he got from some human. Today, this mutt will pay for it. The yellow dog suddenly stopped barking. It turned its head, ears twitching, and met Lin Yi's dark, glimmering eyes. Its body tensed. The low growl that followed was no longer that of an aggressor, but of a wary animal sensing danger. The surrounding students immediately shifted their attention toward the black cat walking calmly into the open. Whoa, isn't that Senior Blackie? Yeah, Senior Blackie, here to settle this. Even his top lieutenant showed up. This is serious. You don't get it. All the stray cats on campus are under Senior Blackie's protection. That yellow mutt, as good as done. You're kidding, right? How could one cat have a whole gang? Believe it or not, I saw it myself. He rose from a common stray to the boss of the Mew Mew gang. Last month, I saw him lead a whole squad of cats to beat a dog senseless. And when I fed another stray, it didn't dare eat until Senior Blackie arrived and took the first bite. Man, this is pure gangland stuff. Where? The Black Cat police chief when you need him. The chief's one of his underlings too. As the crowd murmured in disbelief, Lin Yi stopped just 2 meters from the yellow dog. A low growl rolled from his throat. Meow, you've got guts. Don't you know this is our Mew Mew gang's turf? The yellow dog bared its teeth. Woof, you're dead meat, cat. The moment the sound fell, Lin Yi's eyes flashed cold. He lunged, a blur of black fur and lightning reflexes. Midair, his body twisted gracefully into a rabbit kick falcon drop. Before the dog could even react, Lin Yi's powerful hind leg slammed into its muzzle. Thud! The dog's head rang like a bell. Its body staggered backward and crashed to the ground, dazed. Lin Yi landed elegantly, flicked his tail, and licked his paw with chilling calmness. The move was so fast that the crowd didn't even realize what had happened until they saw the yellow dog lying on the ground, blood seeping from its nose. Holy crap, what just happened? Senior Blackie moved, he kicked that dog. Damn, that was beautiful. Slow motion replay, quick. He dropped it in one hit. No wonder he's the Mew Mew boss. That cat's a monster. I didn't think a cat could actually beat a dog. A cat, but Senior Blackie's a legend. As the students chattered in awe, Tang Kun and Tang Bio ran up to Lin Yi, eyes shining. Night King, you're amazing. That yellow mutt couldn't even take one hit. Night King invincible. Tang Bio tilted his head. But why did those humans call you Senior Blackie? Lin Yi shot him a glare and smacked him across the muzzle. And aren't you the one they call Pig Meow? Heh, what, Pig Meow? No way, Tang Bio laughed awkwardly. They must have been joking. Look at this tattoo on my leg. Do I look like a Pig Meow to you? He proudly raised his orange-striped paw. While the 3 cats were bantering, the yellow dog on the ground suddenly staggered to its feet again. Hatred burned in its eyes. You filthy cat, just wait. The next time we meet, you're finished. It turned and bolted. After him, Lin Yi hissed. You dare touch one of ours and think you can walk away. The chase began, one yellow dog running ahead, 3 cats in hot pursuit. The strange scene immediately drew even more attention across the campus. As they dashed past a classroom building, a tall, athletic girl in sportswear spotted them. Her eyes widened as she waved. Blackie, why are you fighting a dog again? Lin Yi only shot her a glare before sprinting onward, eyes burning with resolve. He wasn't letting that dog escape. The girl sighed helplessly, then followed along with the other curious students. A few minutes later, the chase reached the east field of the campus stadium. Suddenly, the yellow dog stopped. It turned around, smirking with malicious delight. Tang Kun frowned. "What's wrong with this mutt? Did it freeze up?" "Let's go finish it," Tang Bio growled, claws flexing. But Lin Yi suddenly stiffened. His fur bristled. "Wait, this is the east field. Something's wrong, it's a trap." Not even a minute later, over 30 stray dogs emerged from the shadows, surrounding them on all sides. At the forefront stood a massive, filthy black dog with a scar over its right eye, the infamous Scarface hound. Beside him stood a three-eyed dog, glaring menacingly, Three-Eye Wangkai. Lin Yi's pupils shrank. He realized this wasn't some random encounter. This was a setup. Meanwhile, the crowd of students who had followed from afar gasped in horror as they saw the pack close in. Chapter 7, Give me more points. The students who had been following the spectacle could not help but cheer. I just wanted to see a cat versus dog fight. What is this 36 stratagem, some ancient dog versus cat trickery? I knew it was the right call to follow. That yellow dog purposely ran into the west wing to stir trouble, then lured Senior Blackie out. This is clever dogs. These days are getting smart. They actually set traps now. Planet, what is happening? Look, right from the start, the yellow dog chased into the west wing. That was the setup. Get rid of the Mew Mew gang boss, Senior Blackie. Reading books does not lie. These university strays must have at least high school levels of cunning. I have seen the same thing in old tailies ambushes like this. It is brutal. A cat-dog gang brawl turning into inter-gang warfare. Who do you call now, the Bark Squad or the Black Cat Police Chief? If Senior Blackie does not handle this well, our gang might lose its leader. Whoever thought up this plan? What dog could be so clever? Post it online. This will blow up. The hype will be insane. Amid the crowd's rising excitement, the athletic girl who had noticed the chase earlier grew anxious. She wanted to rush in to pull Lin Yi out, but seeing more than 30 snarling strays closing in, she froze. She could only shout a pleading, "Rescue them, Lin Yi." But Lin Yi's expression was deadly serious, his golden eyes fixed on the massive, filthy black dog that led the pack. He knew things were not going to end peacefully today. Night King, the lead black dog, barked. "We did not expect you to show up today. You will not leave alive no matter what." Lin Yi showed no sign of fear. He replied with disdain. "Scarface, you really stooped low, luring me into an ambush." "Do not call me Scarface," the dog bellowed. "Humans named me that. My name is Three-Eye." The massive dog snapped back, pride in its voice. "Fine, Three-Eye," someone mocked. "You will die," the big dog howled, and the pack surged forward to surround Lin Yi and his two underlings, Tang Kun and Tang Bio. At that moment, Lin Yi spoke again. "Wait, Three-Eye, if you want to kill me, fine, but first you have to release my two little brothers." "You think you can bargain?" the leader snarled. "You harmed my eye before, no mercy." "I am not bargaining." Lin Yi's tone was cold. "If your pack scatters my men, they will only be dead weight to me now. Let them go, or they will hold me back." Tang Kun and Tang Bio looked to Lin Yi, shocked. "Night King." But Lin Yi was blunt. "Do not waste words. You two are only restricting me here." He snarled sharply at them to stay down, then turned his fierce gaze back to the leader. "Think it over, Three-Eye." "Fine, I accept your terms," Three-Eye growled. "I do not care about your life today. As long as you die, the Mew Mew gang will be finished." "Give those two idiots a way out. Let them go," the leader ordered. At his command, the pack parted, forming a corridor. Tang Kun and Tang Bio slipped through and sprinted away as fast as they could. "Night King, hang on, we will regroup," they cried while fleeing. Once they were gone, the dogs closed ranks again, sealing Lin Yi in a ring of snarling muzzles. If an ordinary cat were trapped by more than 30 strays, there would be only one outcome. But Lin Yi was no ordinary stray. As Tang Kun and Tang Bio vanished from sight, a cold light flashed in Lin Yi's eyes. He opened the evolution panel in his mind. After devouring Du Fu Tan previously, his evolution points had climbed to an unprecedented 30. This was the moment to spend them all. Shenlam, give me more points, he thought. Instantly 10 evolution points were thrown into agility, and another 10 into strength. In an instant too, advanced skills upgraded and morphed into new basic tier moves. Bite Advanced evolved into Bloodthirsty Assault Basic. Bloodthirsty Assault Basic Enter, a berserk state physical attack power, increases by 25% when striking with fangs, and claws. The attack causes a rending effect that drains the target's health over time for 5 seconds. Effects can stack. Pounce Advanced evolved into Fierce Tiger Rift Basic. Fierce Tiger Rift Basic, when executing a direct jump attack on a target, automatically lock on and guarantee a hit. A successful hit has a 25% chance to force the target to fall and be pinned knockdown regardless of the target's size or form. Warm energy surged through Lin Yi like a current. He felt his small body swell with power, strength, and lightness filled every limb. It was as if 4 tiny winds lifted his paws. Sensing his transformation, Lin Yi's eyes hardened into an icy glare. At that moment, the leader lunged. GRR, the huge dog 10 times Lin Yi's size, charged with terrifying force. Lin Yi assumed a combat posture, fur, flaring spine, straight hind legs, digging into the ground. He sprang forward with Fierce Tiger Rift. Meow. The onlookers gasped to them. The size difference made it impossible for Lin Yi to win, yet they watched, mouths agape, as what unfolded next. He hit the leader with a perfect landing, immediately following with Bloodthirsty Assault. Golden light flared in his eyes, blood-red sparks shone along his claws. In less than a second, Lin Yi's talons slashed dozens of times across the leader's massive body. As more dogs rushed in, he catapulted off the leader, landing a few yards away by the trash bins. Immaculate and composed, he licked the fresh blood from his middle claw with a casual, almost elegant motion. Scarface 3i struggled to stand, battered and howling in pain. Then Lin Yi unleashed Fear Gaze again. Before 3i's eyes, Lin Yi's form blurred and swelled into a terrible black tiger, wreathed in malignant shadow. The sound that emanated from him was no longer a cat's meow, but an intimidating, terrifying tiger's roar. 3i's legs went limp. He was paralyzed with fear and nearly lost control of his bowels. But that was not the end. With the leader toppled, Lin Yi surged back into the pack and attacked mercilessly, determined to teach these strays a lesson they would never forget. He meant to make this a day the stray dogs would remember for the rest of their lives. Chapter 8. One cat against a pack of dogs, total victory. Up on the stadium grounds, as time passed, more and more students gathered to watch the commotion. 3 layers deep, with another 3 surrounding outside, nearly a few hundred people. They all witnessed with their own eyes. Lin Yi, along with 2 other cats, surrounded by more than 30 stray dogs. At first, everyone thought Lin Yi wouldn't stand a chance. Some had even picked up brooms and sticks from the side, preparing to rush in and save him at the critical moment. But what they saw next completely overturned their understanding. Lin Yi, relying solely on the strength of 1 cat, darted into the pack of dogs and went straight for the enemy's leader. He fought fiercely, crippling the stray dog boss, whose size was several times larger than his own, and finally emerged covered in fur but unbroken. For the university students watching this scene, the impact was indescribable. The entire crowd stood frozen, their expressions all screaming the same thing: holy crap! No way, that's not a battle cat anymore, that's straight up sci-fi. That's Senior Blackie, he's not an ordinary cat. This completely defies common sense. That huge dog couldn't even fight back. Senior Blackie must have unlocked some kind of gene lock. His combat power is insane. I'd believe it if you told me he was a baby tiger. How the hell is that a cat? That leap he did just now was beautiful, exactly like a tiger hunting its prey. No wonder he's the boss of the Mew Mew gang. Now I get why all the stray cats on campus respect him so much. When danger comes, he protects his little brothers, and even when facing stronger opponents, he never backs down. If he were human, I'd follow him too. Wait, what's Senior Blackie doing now? What? While the crowd was still gasping, Lin Yi stood on top of a trash can. His fur bristled again, his back arched high, his mouth stained with blood. With a low snarl, he leapt back into the pack of dogs. The student's eyes widened in disbelief. What happened next was even more explosive. In an instant, Lin Yi became a black blur lightning fast, tearing through the pack. Every time he passed a stray dog, his claws struck out fiercely, slamming each one headfirst into the ground. It didn't matter if it was a small, stubby-legged mutt or a large, muscular one. They all suffered the same fate. Before they could even react, his attack had already landed. In less than 2 minutes, he had slashed through all 30 dogs. Each bore deep claw marks, not fatal wounds, but painful enough to remember for life. After completing one brutal round, Lin Yi returned to the center of the pack. Standing proudly atop Lucky's body, he glared at the surrounding dogs, breathing heavily through his bloodied mouth. At that moment, every dog froze in fear. None dared to move. Their eyes revealed nothing but terror. They had never imagined a cat could be this terrifying. Before Lin Yi, they had no power to resist. They couldn't even follow his movements. Just as the stray dogs were paralyzed by his dominance, a sudden uproar came from the crowd. Everyone turned to look behind them, and their jaws dropped. Over 100 stray cats, led by Tang Kun and Tang Bio, were charging toward the stadium. As they ran, they yowled fiercely. "Night King, we're here to save you. Anyone who trespasses on Mew Mew gang territory, will kill them all. Filthy dogs, face the fury of the Mew Mew gang. Charge, brothers, beat these mutts to death." Meow. Hey, idiot, don't yell like that. You're ruining our momentum. Next time we fight, don't scream like a toy cat. You're a male, act like one. He's not a male. He doesn't even have any balls left. What? The 100-strong cat army was a colorful sight. Orange tabbies like Tang Kun and Tang Bio, black and white milk cows, 3-colored calicos, mottled tortoiseshells, pure white beauties, and even a fat blue cat wobbling along with its belly swinging like a drum. But the ones who caught the most attention were the 5 cats following close behind Tang Kun and Tang Bio. One was a muscular black and white cat wearing 4 white gloves. The others called him Sheriff. Next came 2 fierce white cats with black spots around their eyes, known as the Black and White Elders. And finally, 2 cats stood out. One was a strong tabby wearing a chain around his neck, dragging a heavy iron mace behind him, Iron Mace. The other was a dirty, scar-faced stray, with a feral grin, Heaven Slayer. Both had personally taken down a dog before. These 5, along with Tang Kun and Tang Bio, were the division leaders of the Mew Mew gang. They dashed to Lin Yi's side, surrounding the pack of stray dogs and forming a battle line. One command from Lin Yi, and they would tear the dog gang apart. Tang Kun and Tang Bio immediately approached their leader. "Night King, are you all right?" Sheriff asked first. "The king is fine, but he's not," Lin Yi said coldly, his icy gaze locked on Lucky. "These damn dogs must have a death wish. Daring to ambush the Night King, want me to finish them off right now," growled Heaven Slayer, baring his fangs. "Just say the word, Night King," the Black and White Elders chimed in, raising their claws, sharp nails sliding out with a metallic click. "Hey, you 2 idiots," Lin Yi said flatly, "this isn't your turn. Go chase some mice or something." "Night King, do we attack?" Tang Kun asked, tensing up. He looked ready to rip Lucky apart the moment Lin Yi gave the signal. But Lin Yi suddenly hopped down, turned his back and began to walk away. "Let's go, this ends here." Night King. "If we start killing dogs in broad daylight, the university won't tolerate us. Those two-legged beasts won't allow anything stronger than them to exist." He walked a few meters, then suddenly turned back. "Lucky, from now on, the West District is still dog gang territory. I won't let any cat cross into it. Likewise, I don't want to see a single dog in the East District. If I do, I'll come for you personally." He glared one last time, and Lucky trembled, afraid Lin Yi might come back and finish the job. Fortunately, Lin Yi soon led his cats away. Their voices drifted back as they disappeared. "Night King, why didn't we take this chance to drive all the dogs out of Jinghai University? Then the whole campus would be ours." "You fool, that's called balance. If the stray cats dominate alone, the humans will step in to purge us. But as long as the stray dogs still exist, we won't be the main targets. Cats and dogs keep each other in check. That's what the two-legged beasts want. By the way, I heard a girl complained about your attitude yesterday. Did you hiss when she tried to pet you? Ears back and all. Don't do that next time. When they try to pet you, roll over and show your belly. Make your meow cute. That's how you get more food and protection from the students. Got it? Heaven Slayer, you two. Groom yourself once in a while. No one's gonna pet a walking hairball. Look at Big Ham, he tricks 3 girls a day into feeding him, while you can't even score a single sausage a month." As Lin Yi led his gang of cats away, Lucky's expression slowly changed, as if he had just realized something profound. Chapter 9. Viral Inferno Across the Net. After Lin Yi led the gang of stray cats away, the grand showdown between the Mew Mew gang and the Dog gang finally came to an end. The university students who had witnessed the battle were all still buzzing with excitement. Many had recorded the entire event on their phones from start to finish. Without hesitation, they began uploading the videos to their group chats, moments, and social platforms like Dallion and Bilibili. Some even went further, editing the footage, adding background music, captions, and dramatic effects. When these videos started circulating across major video platforms, they instantly exploded in popularity. Within hours, they went viral, racking up an astronomical number of views. The videos opened with a booming piece of background music, followed by an AI-narrated voiceover. Jinghai may not be large, but it births legends. Once there was the East Street Gang riot of Hongxing. Now we have the Mew Mew gang versus the Dog gang, fighting to the death right here on campus. It's not that movie theaters are empty. It's just that live campus gang wars offer more bang for your buck. Welcome, everyone, to the greatest cat-dog war documentary of the century. The cause of this incident: a stray dog trespassed into the Mew Mew gang's territory and chased a cat up a tree. In the end, the Mew Mew gang's boss, Senior Blackie, righteously spared the Dog gang's leader, Lucky, before leading his cats off the battlefield with elegance and dignity. Even the renowned 5-star General MacArthur, after watching this, said, "The Dog gang may be strong, but to provoke the Mew Mew gang, no matter the distance, meow 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 meow." The full video was nearly 20 minutes long. During Lin Yi's fight, the video creator had even mixed in a piece of fiery ninja battle music from some popular anime. When Tang Kun and Tang Bio charged in with over 100 cats, the soundtrack switched to an epic orchestral score, The Great Star of Chaos by Yu Huizi. Damn, who would have thought the hottest short video of 2024 would be a cat-dog brawl? The packing of this video beats 90% of the movies and dramas on the market. I watched the whole thing without skipping once. If this were a movie, the rating would have broken the scale, though it'd probably get banned for being too dark. Exactly, not only dark, it's criminally entertaining. Who could resist watching a real-life gang war between a horde of cats and a pack of dogs? If I were a student at that university, I'd skip class just to watch this live. What era are we in, and we still have territorial gang wars? Oh, wait, it's the cats and dogs, that's fine. Damn, that black cat is insane. Totally crushed those dogs. They got beaten so bad they turned into literal dogs. Senior Blackie YYDS. My cat watched this and said it's pure science fiction. He claims it's edited. I showed it to my cat too. She said those strays are all actors and that she could have done it herself. Then she tried jumping onto the table and failed. My calico sister watched and immediately licked my phone screen. She said, "Mom, I like this one. Please find Senior Blackie's contact info." How can one cat have such terrifying combat power? If it were twice as big, I swear it could beat a lion. Now I finally understand why we have large dogs, but no large cats. Without a doubt, Lin Yi's performance in the video won over countless netizens. His fame skyrocketed once again. Senior Blackie, look here. While Lin Yi was standing atop the courtyard wall, lecturing a crowd of stray cats, a girl in a denim skirt suddenly appeared, phone in hand, snapping photos. Meow, 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 I brought you dried fish snacks. Another girl giggled, crouching nearby with a bag of fish treats from the supermarket, teasing him playfully. Lin Yi rolled his golden eyes. Meow, are you sick? Those cheap snacks aren't for real cats. If I eat that, I'll get kidney failure. But his annoyed meow only made the girl's eyes light up even more. Ah, Senior Blackie is so cute. His voice is so soft and tender. Meow, disgusting. How dare you call this lord's voice soft? Lin Yi turned back toward the cats behind him. Tell me, does your king sound fierce? Fierce? The Night King's meow is the fiercest. Tang Kun immediately shouted, bootlicking enthusiastically. Yeah, no one meows more dominantly than the Night King, added Heaven Slayer, his gravelly voice full of fake sincerity. Good, now let's continue the lesson. Where did we leave off? Night King, you were talking about how our adorable appearance is the strongest weapon of all stray cats, Sheriff replied from a branch above. Correct. Our cuteness is the ultimate weapon against the two-legged beasts. No human can resist the charm of a cat's soft meow. Once we act a little pitiful, they'll willingly surrender their loyalty. But remember, never develop real feelings for a human. Love is forbidden for strays. Last month, that idiot fool got adopted because he fell for a two-legged beast's affection. They neutered him. When I saw him yesterday, his voice had gone all high-pitched. That's what the two-legged beasts call a eunuch. Do you want to end up like him, losing your jewels and becoming a half-cat eunuch? Lin Yi's eyes swept across the crowd, cold and commanding. No, all the cats yowled in unison. Good, from now on, anyone who loses their ornaments is no longer a member of the Mew Mew gang. Chilang, you've done well recently. You conned 4 humans yesterday. Show everyone how to seduce a two-legged beast. Yes, Night King. At his command, a plump orange tabby, round as a potato with 4 stubby legs like toothpicks, jumped down from the wall and swaggered to the center. A girl reached out to pet him, and he immediately flopped onto the ground, exposing his round belly like a furry pancake. The girl's heart melted instantly. She opened her bag and pulled out a can of premium cat food she'd originally bought for her own pet. Seeing this, all the cats on the wall and in the trees stared wide-eyed, practically drooling. Lin Yi's fur bristled in frustration. That two-legged beast, she's betraying her own cat, feeding an outsider. And in front of the premium cat food, Chilang's loyalty evaporated. Within a minute, he devoured the entire can, down to the last drop of gravy. Just as Lin Yi was gritting his teeth in fury, a soft female voice drifted from below the wall. Blackie, I finally found you. Look what I brought for you. Chapter 10. Detective Mew Mew takes the stage. Hearing a sudden sound from below, Lin Yi instinctively looked down. What he saw was a tall, slender girl in a sporty outfit with a pleated skirt, long legs gleaming under the sunlight, waving at him. Just as he was about to ignore the long-legged beauty, she suddenly opened the backpack she was carrying and pulled out a can of cat food. "Little Black, I know you love canned food, so I specially brought you some salmon today. It even has beef and carrot bits. Smells amazing." With that, the long-legged girl popped the can open. The moment Lin Yi saw it, one of the fat strays beside him immediately volunteered. "Night King, leave this two-legged creature to me. I'll make sure to trick that can right out of her hands." But Lin Yi only gave it a cold, murderous glare. "Scram, this time your king will handle it himself. Today's lesson is over, dismissed." With that, he leapt gracefully from the 3-meter-high wall, landing lightly beside the long-legged girl. Then, quite reluctantly, he rubbed himself against her calf. After brushing against her leg, he glanced back to make sure none of his little underlings were still watching. Once confirmed, he exhaled softly. "Little Black, you were amazing today. Even that big mutt couldn't beat you." The long-legged girl crouched down, lifting Lin Yi's front paws with both hands. Lin Yi wasn't surprised at all by this familiar behavior. For the sake of that can of food, he decided not to argue. "Meow, hurry up and open it." All right, don't rush me. I'll open it for you." Click. "Here you go." She set the opened can in front of Lin Yi, smiling brightly as she watched him. Lin Yi didn't care about manners. He lowered his head and devoured the meal. In less than a minute, the can was completely empty. After finishing, he sat obediently in front of the girl and carefully licked the remaining food off his mouth. Seeing that, the girl quickly praised him again. "Little Black, you're amazing. But since you've eaten my food, you'll have to help me with something today, okay?" "Meow, yeah." Lin Yi gave her a wide-eyed glance. "Hee, good, I knew you'd agree. Come on, we can talk on the way." The next second, the girl scooped Lin Yi into her arms. Without meaning to, he remembered the first time he met this long-legged beauty. Back then he was only 6 months old, a still awkward stray cat. The girl, Li Tingning, was the famous beauty of the sports department at Jinghai University. But she also had another identity, an investigator from the Cat's Eye Detective Agency. At that time, she was working on a missing pet case, helping someone find a lost cat. In the end, with a single fish head snack as payment, Lin Yi had successfully helped her track down the runaway furball. From then on, the girl and the cat formed a long-term partnership. This time, it seemed to be no exception. "Little Black, here's the situation," Li Tingning explained as she stroked his fur. "An old lady's cat ran away after living with her for 10 years. She came to me for help. I've been looking for days and still found nothing, so I had to come to you. You'll help me, won't you?" She rubbed Lin Yi's fur against her chest a few more times, grinning. "Hee, if we solve this case, I'll reward you with 10 packs of freeze-dried treats, 10 cans of food, and 10 fish heads. Deal." Meow. "You want double that? Fine, but you'd better hurry. Otherwise, I'm afraid that cat might wander somewhere far away." After thinking it over, Li Tingning nodded in agreement to his condition. Then she pulled out her phone and opened her photo gallery, finding a picture of the missing cat. What surprised Lin Yi was that the missing one was also a black cat. But unlike his own sleek, shiny fur, this one had streaks of white mixed in, clearly an old cat. Around its neck hung a small pair of bells. "Remember its face. If you've got it, we'll head to the old lady's neighborhood now. It's getting dark, so the cat will probably come out soon." Meow. "All right then. Detective Beauty and Detective Mew Mew, case begin." Laughing brightly, Li Tingning extended her right hand. Lin Yi looked at her helplessly before placing his paw on top. Always. Meow so childish. Moments later, Li Tingning put Lin Yi on her pink electric scooter. Before starting, she even pulled a tiny safety helmet from the storage box and placed it carefully on his head. Seeing Lin Yi's confused expression, Li Tingning reached into her bag and, like a magician, pulled out a red bow tie. Ta-da, do you like it? This was custom made by my friend for you. It has built-in GPS and voice chat. That way, I can always find you whenever I need to. Before Lin Yi could resist, she tied the red bow around his neck. In an instant, the sleek black cat turned into a gentleman in a black tuxedo with a red bow. Perfect, now let's hit the road. With a flick of her finger on the bow tie, Li Tingning started the scooter and sped off from the campus, her pink Miu Miu scooter gleaming under the streetlights. Lin Yi sat calmly on the back seat, perfectly balanced, unaffected by every bump along the way. 20 minutes later, they arrived at an old residential area. The buildings here still carried the look of the last century. Low houses, 2- or 3-story homes crammed close together, tangled wires crossing overhead, slicing the sky into uneven patches. Eventually, Li Tingning stopped in front of a small 2-story house with a front courtyard. She took off her helmet, gently removed Lin Yi's tiny one as well, and carried him inside. But the moment Lin Yi entered the yard, his eyes widened. In the center stood a mourning tent, flanked by rows of funeral wreaths. A large black coffin sat in the middle, with a framed black and white portrait and a smoking incense burner in front of it. The moment Lin Yi saw the scene, a strange chill ran down his spine. Something wasn't right, but he couldn't tell what. Then his sharp feline hearing picked up a faint sound coming from inside the coffin. It was soft, completely inaudible to humans, but to a cat it was crystal clear. Meowther of catnip, what the hell is that noise? That's way too creepy.
You're listening to a story on Panda Audiobook Tales. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our next amazing stories.